right, and here we are. Hello, everybody. Happy Monday. Welcome to the show. As always, I'm your host, David Burrows. I was out doing a live stream on the weekend. Of course, I had my mask on, and it has the show with David Burrows on it, and my logo, right? And the gentleman that I was doing the live stream for came up to me and says, "I really like that." He says, "It reminds me of Ed Sullivan," and I'm like, "Ed Sullivan? Why?" Like, you know, the really big shoe, and it wasn't Ed Sullivan, it was the other guy. And now it's time for really big shoe. He thought that was funny. Welcome to the shoe. Hope you've had a good weekend here over this past weekend, right? Well, Mother Nature, like, she's really teasing us folks on motorcycles. I got to tell you, we did get out over the weekend it's teasing everybody, I guess, right? You know, because we got out on the motorcycle over the weekend and went down to Grand Bend. My wife Jennifer and my son Jason and I, and not gonna lie, it was a little bit chilly. The sun was out, that was great, but anyway, we got through it. We still love our motorcycles enough that it was worthwhile getting out there. But happy Monday to all of you. Thanks for being here. Let's go to the comments as we always do before we get started. Jesse Waterfield, as always, is here. Hey, sir. Hey, back to you. My human gas buddy, I like to call him. He says gas is going up 113 point. No, it's at 113.9. It's going to go up this evening. That's why we call him the human gas buddy. Jesse works over at the Petro Canada at London Road in Finch. So if you're ever in there, he's got the show mask on. And thanks for all your support. I still think Petro Canada should give me like a free coffee or something, Jesse, for mentioning them every week, but it's okay. It's because I like you. Danny Cochamilio is out there. Happy Monday. Back to you, Danny. Hope you're keeping well. Who's this? Pagala Alma. I hope I said that right. Hello. There's my good friend Ryan. Ryan, how you doing? How you liking the new place? You got to walk a little farther to get downtown. I'll be okay. Walk a little farther to get downtown, but the exercise is good, right? I got out for a little walk myself last night. Didn't get as far as downtown, but when it gets warmer, we'll do all of that. Lots going on, you know, like considering where we are with things, there's still lots of things happening in the city. We're going to talk about that. We've got two guests coming up here today. We've got Melissa from the Relay for Life going to be coming up and talking to us about that in support of the Canadian Cancer Society here in Sarnia. And Kaylin Burgess from Big Brothers Big Sisters will be here in a little bit. But I have a bit of a dilemma, and I'm kind of hoping that you guys can help me out before I get to some other promotional things that are happening. Do you have this problem? Look at all these pens. Who has this problem? I got to tell you, like, I used to have 3. And I guess since people aren't handing out pens so much lately, that's probably helped, because I'm the guy, and this is one of my pet peeves, I'm going to tell you right now. So I'm sure everybody has some of these in their home in a cup of some sort or a drawer, right? And I would leave them out. And what I really don't like is when somebody takes the pen, right? And then they write on it and it doesn't work. Do you know what they do with it? They put it back in there instead of throwing it in the garbage. And I've been going through these and I've been finding now, fortunately, these are in my office, so these all work. But as soon as they throw them out when they don't work, there's another one. That's okay. It's really neat to go through them, though, because it's a reminder of the people that you meet when you're walking down the street. Are you old enough to remember that song? Who remembers that song? The people that you meet when you're walking down the street. Like Sarnia Lamps and Tourism. I got Preferred Towing in here somewhere. And, there's one from 99.9, The Fox and CN. Okay, so if you want to give me a gift, it's not a pen. Just saying. Ties. I like ties. Even Father's Day, you know, that's the one thing. Don't give me another tie. I'm up to like 62 ties. I'm okay with more. That's fine by me. 62 ties. Everybody knows what to buy me for my birthday. Okay. Hope you're doing well, everybody. Let's go back to the comments again. There's Cameron. He's saying hello to us as well. Cameron, hope you're keeping well, my friend. Where are you in the world right now, Cameron? We have lots of people that watch from all over, including Australia. We usually have Australia shows up. South Africa, my friend Brizzetti's over there, and Ireland. All over the world watching here. But we are talking about the Sarnia Lambton community, and that's what we want to get out to right now. Sarnia Lambton Rebound. Who wants to win a car? We talked about this last week, and I told everybody that I was going to win, and that's fine. But you should still buy a ticket for this anyway, right? The win a car for Rebound. It's only 1,500 tickets going to be sold for this. $100 a ticket. That's a pretty cool car. What do you think of that color? I got to admit, I first looked at it and was like, is that yellow or is it like a yellowish greenish in there? It's kind of cool. It's sticking out to me. They're 2021 Chevy Camaro. Second prize is $2,500 cash. Who doesn't like cash? And it's being sponsored by McFarland Chevrolet. Tickets $100 each. Available by going online to our friends at reboundonline.com. Of course, Rebound Sarnia Lambton supporting with several services in their organization supporting the youth in our community. Another way to support youth and support our community. And that's going to be, what does it say? Till June 21st, you can get those tickets. That's when they're going to do the draw. All right. So get your tickets for that. Cameron, you're in residence. When's my birthday? Jesse. All the years we've known each other, how could you possibly forget my birthday? My birthday is July 1st, Canada Day. There's usually fireworks. There wasn't this past year, of course. Canada Day. Write that down in your calendar. You're going to get me a tie? Very good. All right. Or you could get me an early present and get me one of these tickets in support of Sarnia Lambton Rebound. Hello, Carl, all the way from Oshawa, Ontario. Joining us here. 7-3 to you, my friend. So you go, supporting Sarnia Lambton Rebound. Also, we want to talk about Call the Chef. This is the last day to get in on this fundraiser for it's not supporting Call the Chef as far as the fundraiser goes, but it does support Call the Chef, and it supports local suppliers that are in the Call the Chef meal kits. If you don't know what Call the Chef is, a local meal kit company that uses all local food suppliers. So you're multiply supporting local businesses, and you're supporting the Children's Miracle Network. And delicious, and $10 from every meal kit sold is going to go to the Children's Miracle Network. And as an added bonus, Chef Vanessa was watching last week and said she would throw in a $10 gift certificate as well. So supporting local and supporting the Children's Miracle Network, and that's being put on by Remax Sarnia here. And I bought my two earlier today. I got a nice friendly reminder from Jen Johnson, who was here last week to talk about the Call the Chef fundraiser. And if you have something you'd like to raise funds for as well, I'm trying to self-produce here today again. Let me get the website for Call the Chef. There you go. You can order the meal kits in advance at callthechef.ca. And if you're thinking about having some type of a fundraiser, Call the Chef. Call the Chef. What, do I need to just start over? I can't talk today. Call the Chef has the ideas for you. You can reach out to Chef Vanessa by going to callthechef.ca and just click on the contact button, and she'll be happy to talk to you about that. Also, it's not too early to be thinking about Mother's Day. Yes, our mothers are wonderful ladies, and they deserve to be appreciated for sure. And coming up, and again, you can do this by going to callthechef.ca, purchase a $50 gift certificate and receive a $10 gift certificate for free. Wow. Chef Vanessa, you just like giving out $10 gift certificates. And again, putting a smile on mom's face and supporting local, like Great Lakes Dairy, Davy Jones Meats, and Imperial Brew, and Stone Pickers. Find out all of the places that are being supported by Call the Chef, again, by going to callthechef.ca. I was talking to Chef Vanessa earlier, and she's really excited. But again, a reminder for the Children's Miracle Network fundraiser, that ends today at like 5 o'clock. So get your orders in for that. Oh, we got some more comments. Got to go back, check that out. Oshawa, that's where. Oh, yes, right. You are. Oh, I thought you were saying you're in Oshawa. Yes, you're right. Carl's in Oshawa, and that's where the GM headquarters are. Very good. Thanks, Cameron. And what? Boy, I got so many. I know when your birthday is, you share it with the birth. I do. I share it with the rest of the country, right? I came in with a bang on Canada Day. And I have, I'll tell you now too, I have had some people ask me like, what is happening for, what's going to happen this upcoming Canada Day? As last year, I was very pleased to do a project in cooperation with the city of Sarnia where we had a virtual Canada Day. And I also did a motorcycle virtual parade here. and a virtual, well, it wasn't virtual, we did a motorcycle ride, but all of the money that we raised from that went to Ohana Landing, the youth transitional housing facility here in Sarnia that I'm very happy to support on a regular basis. So I don't know exactly with everything going on. I know there is some talk about doing something for Canada Day, and I'm doing my best to work with the city on that as well, because I truly believe, aside from it being my birthday, I always work on my birthday. It's a really important day, not just in our communities, but in all communities across Canada, to celebrate our independence here, right, in Canada. So don't know exactly, but I can tell you there are plans being worked on and discussed as to what can we do. So if you've got some ideas, I'd love to hear about it. As is many things having to adapt, including fundraisers and including the Relay for Life here in Sarnia. What's that going to look like this year? It's going to be virtual, exactly. Well, we've got someone here with all the information, and there is Melissa Schilz from the Relay for Life. Did I say your last name right, Melissa?
Yeah, you did.
Okay, I want to make sure I got that right. Thanks so much for joining me here today.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
You're coming to us live from home, I take it?
Yes, I work from home.
Yes. And you're the communications lead for the Relay for Life project. Can you tell me, how did you get involved with all this?
Yeah, so actually this is my first year doing Relay, which is pretty exciting. So I saw a posting, they were looking for a volunteer communications lead. So I threw my name in the hat, and yeah, Paula invited me to join the team. So yeah.
Yeah, very good. Well, Paula is she's handed it off to you this time, because she likes doing the interviews. We have a lot of fun, so we're looking forward to getting to know you here today and talking about the Sarnia Relay for Life, of course, coming up on Saturday, June the 12th, right?
Yep, that's correct. Yeah, it's going to be virtual this year. Last year was the first time that they did it that way, so it took a little bit of getting used to. But second time around, we think we've got a grasp on it. So the nice thing about it being virtual as well is that we can have it on a national scale. So normally, normally everyone kind of has a different day, different time that they would do Relay. But now we've had to choose a day where we can come together across the country. So we're really focusing on, even though the fact that we're all apart, it's really a community as a feeling. So yeah, everyone can come together and still Relay at home. So it's great that we're able to do that.
Yeah, well, I like you say, it's nice that you actually get kind of a further reach. We've all had to adapt with the times, and moving forward, many have discussed. I know I've talked with Dave Brown from United Way, who said, all these organizations are looking at continuing to do virtual things, even when we can still get out and do that group and one-on-one interaction. It worked out well considering last year. So what kind of response are you expecting this year?
Yeah, so last year we actually beat our fundraising goal in Sarnia. So we raised $58,000. So we're hoping to come close to that same number again this year. And yeah, sorry, what was the question again?
Well, no, like what were you like? It was challenging last year, but what's your expectation this year? You just mentioned that you beat the numbers last year. Are you expecting what's the goal this year? I guess is what I was getting to.
Yeah, so our fundraising goal this year locally is $55,000. So far, yeah, we're on track. Obviously, it's hard to kind of go out into the community and fundraise because you can't have that face-to-face interaction. But people have been really creative. Obviously, like personally, I'm doing a bottle drive to try and raise funds. I know previously people have done online garage sales and virtual bake sales, things like that. So you definitely have to use your creativity. But yeah, it's still really fun.
Well, that's been advantageous, though. I've often said, it's really forced us to be creative. Sometimes we get a little comfortable in our chairs and we go, oh, we'll do that thing again. It worked last year. And, now here we are being a little more creative. And boy, oh boy, I got to tell you, this one here is, I got to bring it back up here. My apologies. This one's kind of a tasty idea. We want to talk about what's coming up in support of Relay for Life and Global Donuts. You can't, and this is local too, so fantastic.
Yes. So this weekend, Global Donuts is doing a special Relay for Life donut. So that's starting on Friday the 23rd until Sunday the 25th. And all proceeds from this donut are going to be going to Relay for Life. So yeah, we're so grateful that Global Donuts is sponsoring us this year and doing this awesome fundraiser. It's definitely going to be delicious.
Gus and his staff are so supportive of our community. And I got to tell you, like, I go out of my way when I'm out that side of town. That's where I go for my coffee. And they're always so friendly and happy to be working there. And what a great choice to have. And the other thing I really like about it is now I have a legitimate excuse to my wife for why we are allowed to have a donut.
It's for a good cause.
Right.
Yeah.
So I usually have to make an excuse, but this is a good one.
Yeah, this is the first time we've done a fundraiser with Global Donuts, so we're very excited. It's also the 20th year of Relay in Sarnia, so we thought this was a great way to mark that 20 years as well.
Right. Now talk a little bit about the picture that we're looking at off to the right here. What's that?
Yeah, so this is a photo that one of our participants took last year from relaying at home. So obviously everyone's relay from home is going to look a little different. Some people might go to a park. They might just be doing it in their backyard. You can go for a walk around the block. So these here are luminaries. So we always do a luminary ceremony to honor those we love and those we have loved that we have lost to cancer. So that's kind of what you're seeing there. Someone did that at home last year. And yeah, it's definitely a touching tribute.
Yes, for sure. So you're asking people that are getting involved to do this in their backyards or in a safe space. Is that right?
Yeah. So obviously we want to keep people safe. And that means that we do have to do that separately in our homes or even in our neighborhoods. I mean, if people, there's also like step challenges and things that we're doing through our mobile app. So normally, we'd stay up all night or a part of the night and do laps and things like that. But since we can't do that, we can also take part in step challenges. When you download the app, we have it for Android or for Apple, and you can track your steps through there. So I think I just surpassed 250,000 steps myself somehow.
Oh, wow. You're busy.
Yeah. I have a dog, so.
Oh, okay. That
gets me out a
definitely
lot.
helps.
Yeah. But it's really fun. You can download the app, take part in step challenges. You can message your teammates on there. And yeah, it's really great. We've only had it for the last few years. So.
Right. And there's an app for that. There's, everybody's got an app these days, which is fantastic. And we've all got the phone in our hand, right? At least most of us do anyway. So it makes total sense that you would do that. Can we talk a little bit about people always ask, and I know it's one that I've always asked Paula in the past and she answers, but I think it's important that we remind people where the money's going, what's happening with the money. Right.
Yeah. So last year, I know, like nationally, we raised $4.5 million nationally. So that's a lot and that's just from Relay. So we have several fundraisers that we do, but that was just Relay.
So what was that number again?
4.5 million.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
But that's not enough.
No, I mean, that's just from Relay. We do have other fundraisers as well. Yeah. But that money goes to people right here in your community. So we have something called Wheels of Hope, which is a transportation program for people with cancer. So volunteers will drive people to their appointments and things like that. It also goes towards cancer research, helping people find housing when they are sick. And we also have like a wig boutique as well. So money goes towards that too. And actually something really neat that we do with the fundraising. So everyone has different fundraising goals. And actually, if you raise $2,500, you get to choose what type of cancer that actually goes to. So if you say you have a strong passion for something like breast cancer, if you raise $2,500 or more, you can say, I want all of my money to go towards breast cancer.
Oh, that's a really unique idea.
Yeah.
Kind of gives me a bit of a voice to for my money, so to speak. I mean, it all
Yeah.
is going to a great place, but I mean, that's encouraging too, because I think, we all know someone who has suffered in some way from cancer and whatever particular that is. So it kind of gets a little closer to the heart that way.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's really important that people understand, where the money goes. That's probably the biggest question that I think any organization gets, and that's good. So thanks for that explanation. And how are signups going so far? Are you seeing good numbers?
Yeah, it's good. It's steady. Yeah, obviously you can sign up online. It's relayforlife.ca/Sarnia. It's there at the bottom there. So yeah, it's good. Yeah, we're on track. It's hard, obviously, with it being virtual. People can't really get together with their teams in real life and things like that. But yeah, we're definitely encouraging people to keep signing up. We still have just over 2 months until the actual event date, so there's still lots of time to get signed up.
All right. And when they sign up, is there a cost to sign up, or is it free and they just have to fundraise? So how does that work?
Yeah, so there is a cost to sign up. I believe it's $45 at this point. Or an alternative is you can pledge to raise at least $150. So you can either just pay your fee and be done with it, or pledge to raise at least $150.
Okay. And I can have as many people as I want on my team, or just one person, or what's that look like?
Oh, I think you can have up to 10.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, get your friends together.
Yeah, and do the walk, right? There you go. And decorate and put up the virtual. I think that's really, really neat what they're coming up with. And now in all of this as well, of course, there's so many stories that could be shared about cancer patients and survivors and the programs that I always like to talk about. My father who had his cancer issues and was able to get a ride down to London because my sister and I weren't just able to pull that off. So that really helps a family out. There's so many stories to be able to share, but we've got someone here that's telling her story. Talk about who this is.
Yes, so this is our Face of Hope locally, Jess McCormick. So she is currently in treatment, and her story is unique as well because she was actually diagnosed with cancer for the first time when she was a child. And she beat that cancer, but just a couple of years ago, again, she was diagnosed and is back in treatment. And actually, her mother was diagnosed with breast cancer within days of her diagnosis as well. So yeah, she's definitely an inspiration, and we're so lucky to have her as our Face of Hope this year. We have a series on Facebook that we do every Wednesday called Warrior Wednesday. So yeah, if you check out our Facebook page, you can see all of our posts and learn more about her amazing story. She has some really great stories, some of them sad, some of them funny. But yeah, she's definitely quite an inspiration. And I encourage everyone to go to our Facebook page and read all of the posts on her.
Well, the stories is what certainly helps support what Sarnia Relay for Life is all about. So it's important to share those stories as well. Melissa, I want to thank you so much for your time here today. I always like to give my guests one final chance. Was there anything we missed you'd like to say to everybody?
Just make sure that you go out this weekend to Global Donuts, grab a coffee and a donut to support Relay, and sign up. There's still lots of time to sign up. So hope to see everyone there.
Very good. I'm going to get my donut for sure. I'm going to get like 12 of them.
Awesome. Yes.
Melissa, thanks so much, and all the best with the Relay for Life. And you're welcome back anytime.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. Bye for now. There's Melissa Schilz from the Relay for Life in Sarnia coming up on June the 12th. And, well, you heard all the information there. We'll be posting all those links on how you can sign up for the Relay for Life coming up after the show, and about all of our guests here as well. Thanks again, Melissa. All right, well, continuing on out in the community, there's a lot of people that need your support, including the young children in our community. And you might be surprised to learn just how many of them are waiting for someone to support them. And joining us right now, Kaylin Burgess is joining us from Big Brothers Big Sisters. How you doing, Kaylin? Good to see you.
Good. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Everything good in your world considering.
Considering, yeah, you know what? I think everyone's doing the best they can and trying to stay positive and find some light at the end of this tunnel.
Yeah, well, hopefully we're going to get there sooner than
I
later,
hope
right?
so.
I could do a whole week of shows on that one, but we're here to talk about Big Brothers Big Sisters and a new and kind of a unique social media campaign that you've been doing.
Yeah, so we have over the last 3 weeks launched a new campaign on our social media sites called Waitlist Wednesday. And just a little background on how that came to be. So over the last, I'd say 2 months, our casework staff has just kind of tried to streamline our wait list and just kind of dive in and look and see what's going on and why kids are waiting the amount of time they are. Right now, we have about 63 kids waiting for a big brother or big sister. And some of those kids have been waiting for 5 years.
Really?
Yeah. So,
let me just say, sorry, I'll interrupt you there, but I have to say, like, when I first, read the email from you about this and that there was that many waiting, I was shocked. I had no idea. Yeah. I was like, how can there be really? Like, I thought that there would be a flooding of volunteers for something like this. And
you know what? We do. We have a ton of matches locally, and our numbers are really strong, but it doesn't take away the need in the community, right? So, right. And I feel like over the last year, that's just grown and grown and grown. And, the amount of referrals coming in for kids who need support in Sarnia and in our rural communities surrounding is just growing. So we're trying to figure out how to best support these kids and alleviate that weight for them.
Why is there so many? That's not the question. Why do you think there is not enough to go around? I guess right now. So I guess is that the way I'm trying to ask the question, right?
Well, no, you're completely right in saying that. I think it's a hard question, right? I think there's the amount of kids who need support is just higher than amount of volunteers that we have willing to commit right now, especially during a pandemic. I mean, there's a lot of concerns and a lot of what ifs, right? But that being said, I've just been blown away over the last year about how many volunteers we have had come through and want to get matched, given what's going on. They still see the need for it. And we've been processing volunteers at a huge rate right now. So I think right now we have 11 kids paired up, ready to go as soon as we get the go-ahead from Lambton Public Health. So they're coming, which is great.
I was going to say, even if I wanted to be, how would I do that right now? Like, what could I do? Is it virtual conversations with someone, or what does that look like?
So for our established matches, that's what we are doing right now. We're really pushing the virtual. We're not recommending they get together, especially obviously right now with the stay-at-home order. We're just following public health guidelines and kind of changing things as we go. But we don't want to, if we don't have to start a new match virtually, it's too hard. It's so difficult. And you know what? The kids are done with the screen right now. They don't want to start that way. So we've been processing the volunteers and just, through exactly how you and I are doing it right now and getting them all ready to go and screened and presenting kids to them this way. And so once we can open back up, we want them outside. Right now, it's a good time to do it. It's not December. They got the whole summer ahead of them, which is really great. But it's, like I said, there's more need than there is the support right now. Yeah.
Well, and let's talk about there's a process that you have to be a big brother, big sister. Talk about what that process looks like for those that are watching that may be deciding whether or not they want to apply.
So you can apply by, calling the office or applying online, and one of our caseworkers will get in touch with you and just kind of go over the programs and find out what the best fit for that individual is, whether it's a group program or a one-to-one. Then you'll have an interview and a screening process with one of our casework staff, do reference checks, police checks, and then we let them know who we think would be the best fit for them. And that's kind of changed over the last couple months as well, how we do things. Typically in the past, we've presented 2 or 3 kids to a volunteer. So, you could have a kid waiting for 2 days, but if we think it's a good fit, we'll present them to that new volunteer. So how we've changed that up is, not prioritizing, but in a sense, I guess we are, right? So if we'd have a kid waiting for 2 or 3 years, we're going to really push that child if we think it's a good fit. And, the volunteer is the final say, but that's how we're doing it at this point, just because we need to get these kids the support they need.
Now, some might think that time is maybe what holds them back from applying. Most people have busy lives, etc. How much time does realistically does a volunteer need to have to be a big brother or big sister?
So we ask for you to see your little brother or sister once a week for 3 to 4 hours. So, one outing, go hang out for a couple of hours. And we really don't want any more than that anyways. We don't want you to overdo it.
Right.
Just a couple hours a week, honestly, is all that it takes to start developing that relationship and providing that support.
Right. And I suppose a connection to the family is just as important.
Yeah. And you know what? The communication between the volunteer and the family and the child and the staff here, those are all working components to make everything work out, right? So we want the volunteer to have a good relationship with the family. And, that looks different in every situation, right? But we certainly strive for that. If everyone's working together to support that child, you're going to have good results.
Right. Well, let's get back to a little bit more about what now we know what we're looking for. Here's the waitlist campaign again. About Me. Who's this?
So this is one of our little sisters, Emma. She's been waiting since 2017, it looks like. So she was one of the first ones we profiled, actually. And we took her and another little guy, and we just did little fun cartoons with them like this, and threw a couple of, traits about them and what they liked. And it just really captured our community's attention that day. And it's funny because we started getting the inquiries through, and I checked my email that night, and I texted one of our other caseworkers, Sarah, who actually came up with this idea. And I said, I have gotten like 20 inquiries today. And she said, so have I. I've gotten like 7 or 8. And we couldn't believe it. That's more like 27, I think we've gotten so far. I'm like, that's more than we got last year.
Yeah.
Over one day of this campaign.
Well, so that maybe speaks to the fact that maybe I wasn't the only one that was shocked at the fact that this was still a need. Maybe they thought, oh, they're providing that service. That's wonderful.
Right. And I think too, numbers and stats, you hear them all the time, right? We can say, you know what, we've got 60 kids waiting, you should volunteer with us. But when you get a little bit of information about a kid in your community, even if it's something as small as this, you just relate to it more. And I think that child becomes a little bit more real to you, and the support that they need becomes that much more prevalent to you.
Yeah. I've seen some videos in the past, some projects we've done together from the volunteers who are a big brother or a big sister. And it's obviously that they're having an impact on the children. But boy, can you ever see the impact that these children have on the big brother and the big sister, right?
Oh, it's incredible to see, exactly what you're saying, and that's what we always tell new volunteers. If you can look back in, a year after starting this and say, you know what, they've had just as big of an impact and they've changed my life just as much as I've changed theirs. That's phenomenal. And that's, and we get that, right? Like that's what we hear. And that's when things go well, we want those results, right? And we always say it's going to change 2 lives, right? It's going to change yours and theirs. So it's an amazing program. And to see, I've been there 12 years this summer. So, I've seen kids from 5 age out of the program who are still really involved with their big brother or big sister. And to see those relationships, they stand up at each other's weddings, they are so involved in their lives. And to think back to that first meeting where they were strangers and, that volunteer took a chance at doing this. And it's incredible. It's such a cool program. And obviously I'm biased, but it's true.
It's a real true community. We always hear that cliche, it takes a community.
Yeah.
Well, here's proof that it really does.
For sure.
And it's having a 2-way impact, which is just as important as having an effect on the children as it is on the big brother, big sister. Here's Jackson. He's 10, and he's also been waiting since 2017.
He has. So what we did was we got a grant from the Trillium Foundation last year to focus on our rural communities. Well, that's where we decided the need was. So that's what we're focusing on. Because I think a lot of people attribute to Big Brothers Big Sisters to Sarnia, right? They don't realize our reach, that we go, as far as forests and as far as, Port Lambton into Walpole Island, actually, even we cover. So,
oh, wow.
So I don't think people realize that. And we've always struggled to get volunteers out in those smaller communities. And I also don't think people realize the need is there. So we wanted to showcase a kid each week from one of those communities as well, to try to pull out some volunteers from our smaller surrounding areas. Because like I said, I think once again, you see there's a kid in Corunna, there's a kid in Sombra, there's a kid in Brigden. It becomes more real. It's part of your community, right? Again, if you live in Corunna, it's easy to ignore what's happening in Sarnia because it's not your community. Yeah. But all of a sudden, when it's right there, you're going to pay more attention to it.
Yeah, 100%. Well, it's great that this idea came. Sorry, who was it that came up with the idea again?
Sarah McSwain. She's one of our caseworkers. Yeah. It was an amazing idea. And just so proud of her. I think it's great that she thought of it. Well, and obviously
the response has been great. Yeah. So, but not enough, because we need more.
No, we've got a ton.
Got to get more. What about? Let's talk about money for a little bit here. Mm-hmm. How's Big Brothers Big Sisters doing for money? We got to do the fundraising and stuff.
Well, we got to throw that out there while we're on here for sure.
Absolutely.
We're doing okay. I mean, we're holding our own. I think we've had a lot of success in the past 12 months with our virtual events that we've done, that you've been a big part of too. So thank you for that.
Oh yeah, it's been a lot of fun, I'll tell you.
But you know what, we've canceled, I think Mike and I were chatting the other day, like $250,000 worth of events since last March. So while our online ones have done well, they're not bringing in anything like we need. So we've got another big night in planned in June on the 4th with you and with One Tooth that we're ramping up for. But like I said, we're just continuing like everyone else is and trying to navigate this and trying to find out what works. And we've had some success with some of our events, and we'll run those again until we can get back in person. But I mean, the need is there financially as well. We're always, open to donations and to any support that the community wants to give us that way as well.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, don't wait for the fundraising events, folks. If you want to just donate, just donating straight, you can do that at the website, I take it?
Yeah, you can donate right online.
Yeah. Well,
and all of that money stays, I think a big thing to know is it all stays right in Sarnia, right? It doesn't, we are part of a national organization, but anything donated locally does stay local.
In Sarnia or Sarnia Lambton?
Sarnia Lambton.
Yeah, okay. Go over because we were talking about Corunna.
For sure.
And again, I'm glad you brought that point up because I guess it's just down the street for me. So I think Sarnia and right. we've got to think beyond those local borders.
Yeah.
For sure. Well, I thank you so much for your time. I know you're still, even though we're virtual, you're always busy every day, and looking forward to working with you again coming up in June.
Yeah, for sure.
As always, I'd like to give my guests one final chance. Anything you want to throw out there before I let you go?
Yeah, you know what? I think just back to, the need for volunteers. And I think, Mike and I were talking the other day and we were chatting about, how this past year has given people the chance to slow down and I think really reconsider what's important and with their time and how they spend their time. And I think that means a lot. And that's what's bringing these volunteers in, right? I think, they're just reassessing what's important and that's really been a benefit to us. So if you want any information about the programs we offer or any kids that are waiting, we would love to chat with you. And you can check out the website or give us a call or email me. We can chat for sure. Yeah.
That's great. And I can honestly say this, you and Mike and all the team down there, everybody loves what they do there. Yeah. There's a lot of passion coming out of Big Brothers Big Sisters. So to all of you, thank you very much for what you do for the young folks in our community.
Well, thank you, Dave.
All right, Kaylin, take care. Enjoy the rest of your week. Keep washing those hands.
Yes. Right. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks, Dave.
Take care. There's Kaylin Burgess from Big Brothers Big Sisters. And the wait list we don't want a wait list. Let's get rid of the wait list, right? There's the next campaign. Remove the wait list, and you can help out by offering to volunteer with Big Brothers Big Sisters here in Sarnia Lambton, beyond Sarnia, so Corunna Forest and all those other areas within Sarnia Lambton, and simply go to their website at I'll put it up on the screen there, sarnia.bigbrothers.ca, to find out how you can volunteer and go through that process and donate money to keep them going and supporting the young children in our community. Thanks again, Kaylin. All right. Well, thanks to all of you as well. I'll go back and say thank you again to Melissa Schilz, who joined us to talk about the Sarnia Relay for Life and how you can get involved with that as well. And it's certainly still interesting times. And I know that the warm weather is coming and we're wanting to get outside. I'll just say, let's just keep following the guidelines, and maybe even better than we were. Just let's think about that, for maybe even better than we were. I'll just leave it there. There is light at the end of the tunnel. There has to be, but it's up to all of us to make sure that we get there. All right. And speaking of the warm weather, it doesn't stop us motorcyclists from getting out on the road. So I always like to, Bob Barker always used to say, like, get your pet spayed or neutered. I say, drive aware, ride aware. Watch out for the motorcycles. And those of you, including myself, who ride the motorcycles, make sure you're driving aware and riding aware out there as well as the warm weather comes along and we get out on two wheels. And of course, I always like to say hello to my 999th Legion of Child Rights Sarnia chapter. We are a group who, we support children's rights and are a connector to many of the services here in our community. And bonus, we happen to like to ride motorcycles as well. We do have a social media event coming up that we were planning coming up soon, but we're going to have to wait. But we will have some more details coming up for that, so stay tuned. And of course, I want to say thank you to all of my continued supporters, even through the pandemic. Philly Cheese Jake's always been a great supporter. Christine Feege from Active Ears Hearing Centers Incorporated, and We're Better Hearing Begins With You. Thank you so much, Christine. I enjoyed chatting with you the other day. Security Specialist Hughes Intelligence. You can follow them on their Facebook page as well to find out more. Huron Signs SWO, a part of AG Event and Graphics, or visit them online at askguy.ca. Joe's Discount Tire, all about the tires. You got to have good tires to be safe. And of course, our good friends down at Oswald's. Visit them online for their multiple. They don't just have Oswald's food. They got the macs and cheeses. They got sliders and donut. Anyway, they got a lot of delicious food, family owned and a part of our community, and folks who give back into our community as well. Appreciate their support. And of course, thanks to all of you. I really do appreciate you being here every week. One more time to the comments so I don't forget. Hello, Alan, all the way from Winnipeg. Appreciate you being here. Thanks again to all of you. That's all the time I got for you this week. Have a great week and an even better weekend. I will see you next time right here on the shoe. Bye-bye for now.